Hi, Dustin. Thank you for having me over again today. My name is Jit Hinchman. Today, we are going to talk about the impact of transportation management on supply chain performance during digital transformation. Let's take a look what is supply chain performance. Supply chain can be viewed as a network of interconnected trading relationships between business organizations across the industries and dispersed throughout the world in this global economy. Transportation, either through water carrier, air, pipeline, rail, truck, van, or mixed mode as intermodal, is the moving part in the supply chain network that physically links between those trading partners, bridging the gap of physical distance to deliver goods between buyers and sellers. And it is one of the key enablers of international trade that helps business to reach beyond its local home market. Supply chain performance can be considered in terms of responsiveness and efficiency of how well its supply chain activities to function and meet end customers' needs and requirements while achieving sound financial profitability. Let's take a look what are key drivers that impact supply chain performance. The right supply chain performance outcomes that suit each individual organization business need is directly the result of the interactions on the right trade-off between key supply chain performance cross-functional drivers that affect one another. These drivers are facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing of trading partners, and its pricing. So, indeed, transportation is one of the key drivers that directly impact supply chain performance. Transportation management is the art and science of coordinating transportation activities to achieve its organization and supply chain objectives in terms of delivering the right products with the right cost to where and when it is needed with the right condition. Quality of transportation management impacts supply chain performance directly in terms of service level, customer satisfaction, cost, and speed. It doesn't matter how excellent the product in the market. If organizations fail to deliver it on time, at the right place, and with the right condition, it also fails its supply chain performance and negatively impacts the relationships and trust between trading partners in the network. So why supply chain performance is important? If we take a look at the number in some industry, supply chain performance affects nearly 35% of financial performance of apparel retailers, represent 10 to 30% of sales and lost sales, and represent 5 to 10% of sales itself. Therefore, supply chain performance is one of the key drivers of retailers' financial performance. Transportation, on the other hand, represents 2 to 5% of sales, warehousing 3 to 5%, store handling 3 to 5%, inventory cost would be 2 to 5% of sales. Now, while precise fraction will vary for different supply chains, it is evident that supply chain performance, along with the right mix of the 6 key drivers we mentioned above, has significant impact on a firm's financial performance. So it deserves attention to take a closer look for ways to improve performance and profitability. Let's take a look what are the challenges transportation industry is facing in this digital transformation. Now, when we talk about digital transformation, we refer to the changing process associated with the use of application and integration of digital technology into all areas of a business, fundamentally changing how organizations operate and deliver value to customer. It is influenced by the incoming of real-time or digital economy. Industry 4, the use of automation, robot, and AI. With the beliefs that digital supply chain can provide a solution that many organizations nowadays are struggling in terms of the need of real-time demand feedback from customers to smart manufacturers, ready-to-view dashboard with KPI and insights that has been analyzed from almost real-time data, with the use of blockchain technology to help to provide more visibility, improve transparency, faster payment process, and cash flow cycle. In turn, it will help improving business financial performance. Transportation and logistics industry has revenue over $100 billion. It has been hit hard in many areas in terms of resource scarcity, outdated technology, cost in operation to stay competitive. Trucking dominates transportation industry. The high fuel price, lacking of industry capacity is intensified with time and amount of natural disaster that happen. Among all of that, almost 3,000 trucking companies gone bankrupt during economy downturn in 2008, eliminated 16% of total industry capacity permanently. Majority of aging drivers population that will retire in the next decade or two. ATA mentioned that the U.S. has driver shortage of 100,000 drivers per year to keep up with the freight volume growth due to economic needs. High cost of safety and insurance can vary from over $20,000 up to $7 million per accident on the road. Difficulty to retain drivers is not new, as Traffic Law mentioned about this issue on December 12, 1914. As of now in 2018, trucking companies are still facing the same issue. Now, many business elements in transportation industry are counterproductive, fragmented, complexity, and interconnected by its nature. It represents the industry's challenges in its highly competitive market. In the U.S. alone, about 6 million of workforce are in transportation and logistics. American truckers make up to 2% of workforce, 3 million drivers, 2.5 million trucking companies. 90% of those fleets operate with less than 6 trucks. 50% are single owner operator. 13,000 companies are brokers. 67% of shippers are still using paper and manual documentation that increase time consuming in each business process that is required. 20% of truck on the road is empty. That is inefficiency in asset utilization and room for improvement. Transportation costs can be over 40% of total costs in logistic function in supply chain. This represents one of the largest cost components. So organizations look closely to cut this cost down, and oftentimes transportation and logistics found to be one of the weaker links in the supply chain. The wages of workforce in transportation and logistics is one of the lower pays compared to other industries. This preventing more attraction to workforce. Is there any recommendation to the industry? Organization and its supply chain is aimed to meet customers' needs and requirements. This preference is changed with time while achieving profitability. Today, customers want speed and increased expectations. Transportation and logistics industry during this digital transformation at the beginning of digital supply chain is challenged with the near real-time expectation, increasing in government regulations and control, new competitors entrance, evolving business models, needing of technology-savvy workforce, investment in technology and mobile device, improving working conditions, and pay incentives. These are all represent challenges of the industry. With my humble opinion, the industry capacity constraint and driver shortage makes transportation and logistics industry become a bottleneck in supply chain. To cope with challenges, besides from having automation, AI, to help simplify the complexity and interconnected process and the need to shift into digital transformation, the industry needs to find innovative ways to improve profitability. This includes drive off inefficiency in manual process and costs, no value-added activity, shorten cash-to-cash cycle with more effective billing process and contract, ability to adapt to change, increase visibility and transparency, have solutions to cope with driver shortage, and available funds to invest in needed technology. The industry might need to consider merging and coordinating those fragmented companies to gain size and strength in the market. taking creative initiatives in using of data analysis platform, similarly to Uber application that can match and map out driver locations, required routes of origin and destination points, pick up and drop off location and time, both one-way or round trips, freight transportation to eliminate empty miles, increase asset utilization, improve customer satisfaction and revenue growth to remain competitive. In the long term, to attract millennials workforce, organizations need to know what value it is contributed to the business communities. And organizations need to be good and transparent as well to thrive and earn respect in this digital economy, where information is shared instantly around the world through social media. Successful of any business rely mainly on its people. Great mix of open-minded people who well equipped with global knowledge base collectively create a winning culture, consciously and unconsciously. People are the seeds to grow the continuing successful business. It is a universal language. Once we are cared truly and deeply, we are at our best stage and give our best performance. Same concept apply in business, as business is as a people, and they will give long-lasting drive and willpower to help business to prosper in both good time and bad time. Thank you.